2005 National Electrical Code, or NEC, restricts the use of Romex wiring in commercial buildings. This restriction applies to structures like motels and hotels. The NEC specifies approved wiring methods for different types of buildings based on factors such as occupancy, fire resistance, and environmental conditions. Romex, which is a type of non-metallic sheath cable, is typically permitted for use in residential buildings. However, due to the increased fire risk and higher density of occupants in commercial buildings, more robust wiring methods are required. These wiring methods often include the use of metal conduits, such as electrical metallic tubing, intermediate metal conduit, or rigid metal conduit. These conduits provide physical protection for the conductors and help to contain fires. Another acceptable wiring method in commercial buildings is the use of armored cable, also known as AC cable or BX cable. Armored cable consists of conductors encased in a flexible metal sheath, which provides mechanical protection and serves as a grounding conductor. The specific wiring methods required for a particular commercial building will depend on the occupancy classification of the building. Occupancy classifications are defined by the International Building Code, or IC, and are based on the intended use of the building. For example, a hotel would be classified as a Group R -1 occupancy, while an office building would be classified as a Group B occupancy. The NEC contains specific requirements for wiring in each occupancy classification. These requirements are designed to ensure the safety of building occupants and to prevent electrical fires. When selecting wiring methods for a commercial building, it is important to consult the NEC and any applicable local codes. Local codes may have additional requirements or restrictions that are not found in the NEC. It is also important to consider the specific environmental conditions in the building. For example, if the building is located in a wet or damp environment, the wiring methods must be suitable for use in those conditions. When installing wiring in a commercial building, it is important to follow all applicable codes and standards. This will help to ensure the safety of the building occupants and to prevent electrical fires. It is also important to use qualified electrical contractors who are familiar with the NEC and local codes. Qualified electrical contractors will have the knowledge and experience necessary to install wiring safely and correctly. The NEC is a comprehensive set of standards that governs the installation of electrical wiring and equipment in the United States. It is updated every 3 years to reflect changes in technology and to address new safety concerns. The NEC is developed by the National Fire Protection Association, or NFPA, and is adopted by most states and local jurisdictions. The NEC is divided into chapters, articles, and sections. Chapter 1 contains general requirements that apply to all electrical installations. Chapters 2 through 7 contain specific requirements for different types of electrical systems and equipment. Chapter 9 contains tables and examples that are used to calculate electrical loads and conductor sizes. The NEC covers a wide range of topics, including wiring methods, overcurrent protection, grounding, and equipment installation. It is essential for electricians, electrical contractors, and building inspectors to be familiar with the NEC. The NEC is a complex document, but it is essential for ensuring the safety of electrical installations. By following the requirements of the NEC, it is possible to reduce the risk of electrical fires and other electrical hazards. The NEC is not a design manual. It provides minimum requirements for electrical installations. It is up to the designer to determine the specific requirements for a particular installation. The NEC is not a substitute for engineering judgment. It is important to use engineering judgment when designing and installing electrical systems. The NEC is a living document. It is constantly being revised and updated to reflect changes in technology and to address new safety concerns. It is important to stay up to date on the latest changes to the NEC. The NEC is available for purchase from the National Fire Protection Association. It is also available online through various subscription services. The NEC is an essential resource for anyone involved in the design, installation, or inspection of electrical systems. The purpose of the National Electrical Code is the practical safeguarding of persons and property from hazards arising from the use of electricity. The NEC achieves this through a comprehensive set of rules and guidelines that cover all aspects of electrical installations, from the service entrance to the final connection of electrical equipment. The scope of the NEC includes electrical wiring and equipment installed in or on public and private buildings, structures, and other premises, including yards, carnivals, parking lots, and industrial substations. It also covers the installation of optical fiber cable, communications wiring, and raceways. The NEC does not cover the installation of electrical wiring and equipment in ships, watercraft, railway rolling stock, or aircraft. It also does not cover the installation of underground mining equipment or the installation of electrical equipment that is part of a self-contained unit, such as a motor or appliance. The NEC is divided into 9 chapters, each covering a specific area of electrical installations. Chapter 1 contains general requirements for electrical installations, including definitions, wiring methods, and grounding. Chapter 2 covers wiring and protection, including overcurrent protection, grounding, and wiring methods. Chapter 3 covers wiring methods and materials, including conduit, cable, and raceways. Chapter 4 covers equipment for general use, including receptacles, switches, and lighting fixtures. Chapter 5 covers special occupancies, including hazardous locations, healthcare facilities, and places of assembly. Chapter 6 covers special equipment, including electric signs, electric welders, and data processing systems. Chapter 7 covers special conditions, including emergency systems, standby power systems, and fire alarm systems. Chapter 8 covers communication systems, including telephone, cable television, and data networks. Chapter 9 contains tables and examples for calculating conductor sizes, conduit fill, and other electrical parameters. The NEC is constantly evolving to keep pace with new technologies and to address emerging safety concerns. The NEC is revised and updated every 3 years by the National Electrical Code Committee, a group of experts from various fields, including electrical contractors, engineers, manufacturers, and inspectors. The NEC is adopted by most states and local jurisdictions in the United States. Some jurisdictions may adopt the NEC with amendments or additions. It is important to check with the local authority having jurisdiction or OJ to determine which version of the NEC is in effect and whether any local amendments or additions apply. The NEC is a complex document that requires careful study and interpretation. It is important to consult with a qualified electrical contractor or engineer to ensure that electrical installations comply with the NEC. The NEC is not a substitute for sound engineering judgment. It is important to use good engineering practices when designing and installing electrical systems. The NEC is a valuable resource for ensuring the safety of electrical installations. By following the requirements of the NEC, it is possible to reduce the risk of electrical shock, fire, and other electrical hazards. When considering wiring for commercial buildings, local amendments to the NEC can further restrict or clarify acceptable practices. Therefore, contacting the local authority having jurisdiction before commencing any electrical work is vital.